I don't know if you noticed lately, but the world we live in right now, it's a crazy world. People are dying, wars going on, and now with the latest things that the US is doing overseas, well, World War may be coming up in the near future. I don't know about you, but I think we're living in the end times. I'm not a religious person, or actually I wasn't until not long ago, but I can tell you a lot of the things that you read in the Bible are coming true. And today I want to talk to you about what can you do in order to help yourself and others around you if times get hard. So let's get to it. So there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. And one of the things that always comes to mind is what can you do about it to fix it? I can tell you, if you think you're just gonna vote, maybe write a little message online, maybe donate money to a special cause and make a change, well, keep thinking, because that only is gonna help you feel better. In the general scheme of things out there, I don't think those methods do much for everything that is going on around us. The system has been designed to work this way. We have been living like this, I would say, since the beginning of times. And a lot of people right now are waking up. They're waking up to reality. They're waking up to see exactly what the world we live in is really like. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about exactly that. What can you do in order to better you and everything around you, your community? What can you physically do that's actually going to make a change? I don't watch the news anymore, and the reason why is because I do not believe a thing that you see on the news. But what I can tell you right now is that there's so many things going on, natural disasters, people getting killed, wars starting. For the longest time, I thought that I could make a difference. I thought I could make a difference by joining the military. I thought I could make a difference for, fighting for my country that I love. I thought I could make a difference by voting. And over time, slowly but surely, I've noticed that there was not much that I could do personally. That the system was set up for you to fail. The system is set up for you to follow a certain agenda. And if you deviate from that agenda, well, life's gonna get hard for you. This is why gardening is not taught in schools anymore. They don't teach you how to fix things in school anymore. They don't teach you how to use your hands to make a living anymore. They teach you to be a follower. They teach you to be an employee. They don't want you to be an employer. They don't want you to be a provider. And that is how the system likes it, because the more things they provide for you, the more control they have over you. So there was a little while that I was actually down. I did not understand. I lost hope. I did not know what I could do personally to make a change. But then I started growing plants. And the more plants I grew, the easier it was for me to understand what reality was, what was really going on around me. You need to start growing your own things. Yes, your own vegetables, your own fruits. Drink water, get rid of soda, get rid of processed things. Because that's how the system keeps you down. That's how the system keeps you sick. If you actually start looking at the labels, read the labels. I dare you to actually start looking at all the labels from all the food that you buy and research the ingredients specifically, individually online. Yes, do some research. You're going to notice a lot of those ingredients are toxic. You're going to notice a lot of those ingredients are going to make you sick. And it's my belief that that's what actually keeps us sick. That's what keeps us compliant. And that is how the system wants it. They want you to buy cheap stuff. They want you to buy processed foods, because that is a guarantee for them to control you over time. It is a guarantee for them to have control over you. So as I started growing more plants, I realized that this is the answer. And I realized when you actually find obstacles, when you run into obstacles, when you run into things that make life harder, you know you're in the right path. Because I can tell you, when I purchased my land to start a commercial nursery, and I realized how difficult it is for somebody just to be able to grow plants and sell them to the general public, I realized the truth. And that is, they don't want you to do that. Because when you start growing your own stuff, when you start growing your own food, you have full control of everything around you. Because food is going to be the ultimate way for the system to control you. If they can control the food, they can control you. All these food shortages are not a coincidence. All these things going on around us that are affecting our food supply is not a coincidence. All the rules and regulations you got to follow in order to be able to grow food to sell to others, it's not a coincidence either. The system is meant for you to be a consumer. They don't want you to be a provider. So initially, I got into the organic thing that people usually get when they want to be healthy, right? You go to the store and you buy organic fruits, you buy organic vegetables. But then recently, I actually found out the truth. A lot of those organic labeled things, they're not really organic. They actually are full of chemicals. Do you know that a lot of those chemicals, pesticides specifically, that all these big companies use, they can still use them in organic products, but they have to stop using them, I think, don't quote me on this, about 3 months before harvest. During the growing process, they can still fumigate their crops. They can still use pesticides. They can still use chemicals. A lot of them, they just cannot use as much because the FDA regulates how much chemicals they can put in your food supply. Because the system is telling you what is safe and what is not safe. Then I found out that a lot of this organic product that you usually buy at the stores comes from Mexico. Yeah, and I can tell you over there, they don't really follow what's best for you. They follow what's best for their pocket. And I can tell you, once it crosses the border, all they gotta do is just slap a little label on their produce saying that it's organic, and then it's fine for you to consume. I can tell you, if you started researching all the products, all the chemicals they use in the food supply, in the food that you eat, you are gonna be amazed. You need to wake up. You need to start growing your own food. Because at the end of the day, that is all you can do. I can tell you honestly, war is coming. The end times, I'm not a religious person, but lately I've been seeing a lot of signs, and I can tell you something is coming. Sooner or later, I don't know what it is, whatever is going on in this world, it is not normal. I can tell you it has happened before, and whatever it's happened before will happen again. I can tell you I used to be the most antisocial person you will ever meet in your life. I despised humans. And the reason I was that way is because of personal experiences that I've been through. I'm being at war, and I can tell you it is not fun. And I can tell you, when I was there, I believed everything the media told me. I believed everything the system told me. I believed the mission. But after I left, after I got out, and I started growing plants, I woke up. I realized the lie that I was living in, that it was all fake, that it's all meant to keep you down. Why? I do not understand the why. Because if they wanted to kill us, they can easily do that. There is something else out there that they need from us, and ending us, it's not part of it. They need us alive. They need us to believe that their system is the way to go. Why? I still don't understand why. But one thing that I know that I'm doing right now is by changing the ways I live my life. I've had this belief for the longest time. There are several things, emotions, that keep us humans down and controlled. And that is anger, hatred, greed, and jealousy. Whenever you're feeling those emotions, you need to stop yourself, reflect what's going on, and try to change it. Because I believe whatever demons that are controlling this world that we live in, they feed on those emotions. But when they don't have anything to eat, what usually happens? What will happen to you if you didn't have anything to eat? You would starve and you would die. So I think that's one of the things that you can personally do to change the world that we live in. Try to minimize those emotions. Anytime that you're feeling them, you need to stop yourself and do the opposite. When I read negative comments, the first thing that comes to mind is anger, right? So instead of getting angry, just do the opposite. Thank the person and wish them a good day. And that is exactly how I live my life now, besides growing plants. The next stage of my life now is vegetables. I haven't been doing this for the longest time. I can tell you, I got into growing plants around 2015. Before then, I really didn't care about plants. Plants were the last thing in my mind. But now, as I started growing fruit trees mainly, because that's what initially started me into growing plants, I realized the benefits of actually growing your own things, the benefits of eating your own fruits, the benefits of knowing exactly what was in that soil that fed that plant, that produced that fruit for you to eat. But now, I want to get into something else. I want to get into vegetables. Yes, I'm not a veggie guy, but you know what? I want to get started. I want to grow vegetables. Once I realized a lot of these organic things that you buy at the stores are fake, they're a lie. I want to grow vegetables. I want to teach people how to grow their own vegetables the real organic way, so that way you can be healthy. I believe a lot of the illnesses that we as humans experience are due to all the chemicals that is in our food supply. And I can tell you, the less chemicals you eat, I can tell you the healthier you are going to be. And that is the reason why a lot of the bad stuff that is not good for you, is cheap. Because the system is meant for you to do the wrong thing. When you go to the store, let's say you don't have enough money. What is cheap? What is affordable? All the junk food. All the fast food, it's always cheap. But if you look in the label and you can see all the chemicals they use on those types of products, you can see that's actually what's making you sick and keeping you sick. And the system knows that. And that is the reason why it's cheap. Because they're giving you the choice. They're not forcing you. You are choosing to be sick by buying cheap. So when I go to the store, I read the labels on everything. And the least amount of ingredients, whatever is the healthiest, whatever has nothing artificial, it's always going to be more expensive. And it's meant for that to be that way. Because they know people who are struggling, people who don't have enough money, are always going to go cheap. And at the end of the day, it was your choice. They didn't force you. I don't know why this is. I'm still trying to figure it out. I know a lot of you guys follow those things. Maybe you can comment below and tell me, why does it have to be our choice? Why can they not just force us? I want to grow my own stuff, my own vegetables, and I want to provide my community healthy, organic, grown things that came out of the ground with no chemicals. I do not use pesticides. I do use some synthetic fertilizers, and I'm going to try to stay away from them. But I want to stay as organic as possible. And I'm going to take you in the process. I'm not a veggie guy. I haven't really grown that many vegetables. Vegetables are one of the easiest things that you can actually grow out there, because you can grow from seed to harvest within a few months. Compared to all the trees that I actually grow here, they usually take a few years to start producing fruit. But vegetables are super easy to actually grow. You do not need any special juices, no special soils, no special nothing. Today I had a customer come in. He's a local grower. He grows about a quarter of an acre of vegetables, and he sells at the farmer's market. So he was telling me him and somebody else are the only two growers in the entire farmer's market. They actually sell the produce that they actually grow. Most of the sellers at those farmers markets, they're buying vegetables wholesale, the same way the supermarket is buying them. And then they bring them to those farmers markets. They label them organic, and then they give the impression to the customer that they grew those vegetables. Obviously, they're charging more money. They're making tons of money. He was telling me about a seller at this farmer's market that makes about $40,000 in one single day during the weekend. And he's the biggest one there. And I can tell you, they don't even have a farm. All they do, he told me, that they just buy and resell vegetables wholesale. They make it seem to the public that everything is organic, and people don't even ask, they assume. So you always gotta make sure you know exactly where your stuff is coming from. If you're ever buying from a farmer, ask them, hey, can I come tour your farm? Can I see where you're growing your stuff? What kind of chemicals are you putting in the soil? If they're willing to show you, if they're willing to talk to you, you know they are the real deal. But if they make excuses, if they just lie to you, I will not buy from them. And that is the problem with the world that we live in. Money. Money taints everything it touches. And I can tell you, this farmer, if he wasn't making that much money lying to people about this organic produce that he's selling, he wouldn't be doing it. And the system knows this. And that is the reason why they use money to control us. Anyways, guys, hopefully you get the point of this video. And I can tell you, you need to learn how to grow your own food. Because if you don't, you are going to be relying on the system to provide for you. And the more you rely on the system, the more control they have over you. And they know that. And that is why everything is set up the way it is. Growing your own food, it's not hard. It's actually extremely easy. You do not need anything special. All you need is water and time. Yes, it's gonna take a little bit of effort. Yes, you're gonna have to get on your knees. You may have to sweat a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any comments, comment below. And I will see you next time.